Dear friends, I apologize for the impersonal group email. Ordinarily, I wouldn't send a message to 200 people. But when you hear my situation, you will understand that I do not intend to be insensitive. In fact, I'm getting ready to leave right now anyway, so I'll be brief. As you know, my son Jacob is selling chocolate bars for a school fundraiser. Yes, $5 is a lot for a candy bar, and the school itself probably gets no more than $1 per sale, but as we all know, that is quite beside the point. I could tell you that the fundraiser will help pay for some much-needed playground equipment. I could tell you that it will finally cover the cost of removing the merry-go-round the school decommissioned last winter after the Peterson girl got trapped beneath it and was so terribly disfigured. The Petersons are neighbors of mine, and even though little Brittany's head is much less cucumber-shaped now that she has regained consciousness, I could still pressure you into buying some $5 candy bars by reminding you that the dismantling of that awful fixture is beyond overdue. But that, as we all know, is also beside the point. The point of this is that I would like Jacob to outsell that little snot, Andrew Dayton, just this once. I don't know if any of you have had occasion to meet this little turd, but he has been sniffing around for a comeuppance since the 3rd grade, when he won the iPod for the cookie dough fundraiser, the inflatable kayak for the 4th of July pancake breakfast, and the trip to Six Flags for the magazine drive. The Daytons are neighbors of mine, and so I know firsthand that Andrew has done little to earn this place as Lincoln Elementary's top fundraiser. If he has ever stopped by your home while selling door-to-door, you'll know that his mother, Charisse, always tags along, and they canvass at times when the man of the house is known to be at home. To those of you men who live in the neighborhood, please don't flatter yourself by thinking you're the only one she stands so close to. And it's no happy accident that her wardrobe permits you to see all the way to her navel when she bends down to help little Andrew with his order forms. Pamela, if you're wondering why your mailman developed that herniated disc in his back last summer, it's probably because Curtis bought subscriptions to no fewer than 12 magazines when this debauched little roadshow put in an appearance at your house, including Dollhouse Furniture Collector, Soldier of Fortune, and Cat Fancier Quarterly. I assume he's intercepting the mail because every single issue ends up unthumbed in your recycle bin. However, you may rest easy to know that if you have played John to this freckled pimp, you are hardly alone. Last year, when Charisse wore that loose-fitting lavender tank top, poor old Mr. Erdelman ended up with enough Christmas wrapping paper to cover several football fields, and he's Jehovah's Witness. But if Charisse's behavior is shameful, Andrew's dad, Ron, is an utter disgrace. He's a big shot at a certain government contractor in town, and he's the one who decides who gets laid off when they're between contracts. And if he tacks up a 50-line order form on his office door when he gets to work at 11 in the morning, his subordinates will have filled up the form completely before it's time for him to go golfing at 3:30. Yes, I purchased some fundraiser magazines for my waiting room and even bought some number of cases of that tragic cookie dough to give to some of my more distant relatives at Christmas. And here I am, a country dentist. But Ron told me himself that merely hinting at widespread layoffs one morning was enough to peddle an astonishing 480 cases of that goo to his trembling underlings. The cookie dough factory sent him a $1,200 bottle of cognac and a handwritten thank you note. Don't bother to tell me that I've taken things too far. I've heard that enough from my wife and my lawyer. I promise to be brief, and I will be leaving soon. Just please admit that there have been times when you took a stand on a matter of principle, a matter of dignity. Mark, when your wife was sleeping with the guy from the gym, and you were in flagrante delicto with the 15-year-old hitchhiker in the rest stop up by the state line, no one blamed you for suing the newspaper, for strewing your dirty laundry all over town. Sure, you lost your house in the countersuit and your parents' cabin in West Yellowstone. And while I don't think we're legally allowed to talk specifics yet, I don't think I'm outside the law when I salute you for standing on principle. As some of you know, Ron Dayton and his family are patients of mine, and so you might ask, why? As long as I've got the little brat Andrew or his buxomly matron in my chair, mouth open, and a locker full of fentanyl at my side, why not just take matters into my own hands? I've considered this and gone farther. The last time Charisse came in for an applique, I dismissed the staff and had dragged Charisse halfway to my car. In case you're wondering, I chose her because I knew it would be impossible for me to drag an anesthetized Ron much farther than a few feet without help, let alone heave him into the trunk of the Lexus. But Charisse didn't come along much easier. She's much heavier than she looks. I don't care if she is a size 8. In any case, as I dragged her down the hallway, her immaculately pedicured toes aiming at the ceiling at a crazy angle only general anesthesia can induce, I suddenly realized that I could not take a stand against unscrupulous fundraising tactics by bringing dishonor to my own practice, and so I tugged her and shoved her back into the chair, finished her applique, and I can only wonder what she thought of the various bruises my half-implemented plan may have inflicted. Dear friends, I must close, as my ride is here and I must be on my way. It sounds like they'll break down the door if I wait much longer. In fact, there is a police sniper across the street on the roof of the Carlson house, right behind the direct TV dish. He's done an okay job of hiding himself, but I have the shades drawn and the lights off, so I'm in no immediate danger. They assume I'm armed, and I think that leaves me enough time to properly close this email. I apologize to those of you who were questioned by police after the Dayton home burned to the ground last week. There was no call for them to pull any of you into this. CSI-style sleuthing was hardly necessary to blow the lid off this case. After all, the only things in my garage are cartons and cartons of stale cookie dough, a few suspiciously empty gas cans, and several rolls of duct tape. I thought I'd need 3 or 4, but the stuff with the blue label really goes a long way. I can only hope that with this awkwardness behind us, there will be no reason for you to hold any prejudice against Jacob. The candy bars themselves are not bad tasting. With Andrew out of the picture, Jacob need only sell only 40 or 50 more, and he wins a Nikon Coolpix. The candy bars are $5 a piece, but if you buy 10, it will only cost you $7.50. They come with almonds or without. Yours truly, Martin DeWitt, DDS. So, Glennie and Jack